Hello, fashion lovers. You're welcome to Custom Venture once again. I want to say big thank you to all our subscribers and those ones that will be subscribing today. For all the returning subscribers, I say thank you and God bless you. Okay, today I will be using this fabric to cut exaggerated ruffles on the off-shoulder blouse. Okay, there are different fabrics you can use. You can use organza, you can use scuba, you can use any material provided it's going to come out fluffy. So I'll be using this taffeta to beautify the off shoulder. Okay, so I will need this slices. I will have to slice my cloth, cut it into pieces. If you want 3 layers, if you want 2 layers, it depends on how you want it to be full. So I'll be using only 2 layers. Okay, I'll be measuring 10 inches for the widest part of the fluffy design. Okay, I will make it 10 and a half so that, because I'm still going to interlock the edges. Okay, so I'll be measuring 10 and a half. Okay, and I will need 2 pieces of this 10 and a half so that it can be very long. And of course I will need the next one. I will measure is this is still the 10 and a half inches. So I cut it, I will measure it, I cut it, and then I will pierce it. Okay, I cut it. Okay, I'll be start cutting the second side, and then I'll be cutting this. I'll also pierce this one into two. That is, I'll be able to get 6 and a half each. So I cut it into two, six and a half. Okay, 6 and a half. I cut it into two. Of course, spin it so that it doesn't shake, so that you can get the actual measurement. Okay, this kind of fabric can be shaken at times, so that you don't lose the measurement. So I cut it. Okay, having measured it, I cut it into two. So having cut it, you will take the same size, the 6 and a half by 6 and a half. You will interlock the middle, you interlock it, and then interlocked the edges too. The same thing with the 10 inches. You interlock the edges and interlock the two sides of it. So let's go and do that. The interlocking has been done. The 10 and a half by 10 and a half inches have been joined together by interlocking. The edges have been interlocked. Okay, so it's the same thing with the 6 and a half. They have been interlocked. So what you now do is that you align the bigger one and the smaller one. Align them, let the smaller one be in the middle, and then you run your gather stitch. If you can do that directly on whatever you are going to fix it, good. So just take your time, gather the fabric, gather them, make them very close, very fine. Okay, once you do that, but in absence where you cannot run your gather straight, you can run your gather on the fabric alone, and then of course you are going to draw the thread to form the gather design there. You know, you have to be very careful when you are drawing the thread so that it doesn't cut. If you cut it still take it again, do it again. So it doesn't matter. You need to be very careful while you are drawing the thread. If not, it keeps cutting as many times as possible. So just take your time in drawing the thread to form the ruffle properly. Yes, take your time. Make sure it doesn't cut. Okay, still wash it, still gathering it, still gathering it. Yes, the gathering is almost done. Yes, good. Okay, good. So we're now going to pick the fabric we are going to use the ruff on. Okay, it's the off shoulder once sewed. So you take the edges of the your ruffle design, start from the zipper allowance, and then your sewing should be on the middle where you run your gather stitch. Okay, there are two ways you can do it, but for now I will just use the pin to secure it. Okay, I will use the pin to secure. You start from one edge of the zip, and you go around the whole round neck or the whole of shoulder measurements. Of course, before you start fixing, you ought to have known the measurement of what you are going to fix. So your ruffle should be done in that measurement. So the measurement of the round neck of this cloth have been measured. So the ruffle was just done exactly that size. Okay, so I'm securing it now with a pin. If you like, you can tack it with needle and thread, or you sew it round, but I will prefer to sew it round. So after I've secured it with pin round, I will now run my stitch over it. Okay,